What is up, my boys? What's up, baby? We got a crazy slate, man. We got some late news that came out. I had to push the stream back a little bit. I was supposed to go live at 12, but with this news that Calvin Ridley was out, I mean, that was just unexpected. I had to redo a bunch of lineups. I had to update everything on Patreon. So we're back, though. We're here. We're going to go live just pretty much up until kickoff, up until 1 o'clock. We'll be live. If you have any questions for today's slate, you can throw them in chat. It's basically just going to be a Q&A for the next 30 minutes, answer any questions you guys got. But I appreciate you being here as always. Hit the like button. And yeah, guys, if you got questions, start throwing them in chat. But I did want to, the Calvin Ridley news was huge. Obviously, without Ridley, big bump for Kyle Pitts and definitely a big bump for Cordell Patterson as well. Cordell Patterson, I think they're going to use him a lot, in the passing game especially. And we saw this happen. So it was back in week 5 when they played in London. I want to pull up the box score. But when the Falcons played in London in week 5, Calvin Ridley was out that game. And Cordell Patterson got 14 carries, and he also got 9 targets. And then Kyle Pitts got 10 targets. And you had like 5 targets for Tajay Sharp, 5 for Hayden Hurst, 4 for Zacchaeus, 4 for Christian Blake. But really, Kyle Pitts and Cordell Patterson are the guys that definitely benefit without Ridley. Cordell Patterson might get like 12 to 14 carries and probably close to double-digit targets. They're going to use him a lot. So I definitely like Cordell Patterson a ton now. I think he's a really strong play. And obviously without Jamal Williams, DeAndre Swift. I mean, he might play almost every snap. He's a top play for me. I mean, DeAndre Swift was already a good play. Now without Williams, he's going to be a really tough fade. He's my highest owned player in my 150 lineups I'm doing on Yahoo. Swift is my highest owned player. I have 67% DeAndre Swift. Second highest owned player is Kyle Pitts. I have 48% Kyle Pitts. So very heavy on both those guys. What's up, Swabe? Who you like, Swift, Harris, or Taylor? Last running back in. I got to say Swift now. I mean, I think Swift's going to get, he's going to get all the goal line work. He's going to get almost all the carries. We know the Lions will use Swift a lot in the passing game. I mean, there's a possibility that DeAndre Swift gets like 15 carries and 15 targets today, like no joke. He's got a massive ceiling. Start building lineups at 12:45. I mean, NFL is one of those sports you can kind of build lineups and just kind of forget them. But yeah, this news was crazy. And Ridley, especially on Yahoo, Ridley was projected to be pretty popular. So I'm going to be interested to see how many people still leave Ridley in their lineups. I'm going to be interested to see what the ownership is on Ridley, especially on Yahoo, where he was projecting out really well. There'll definitely be some dead lineups. There's going to be people that still play Ridley, I'm sure. What's up, Patrick? How you doing? Happy Halloween. Let's get that money. Let's get it, Patrick. Yeah, happy Halloween, guys. I didn't really do anything last night. I'm not going to do anything tonight except just watch football. But if you went out and celebrated, Halloween, hope you had a good time. I've never been the type to go out and party and dress up for Halloween. I'm 22, which is I'm in my prime, but I just don't do that crap. Last time I dressed up for Halloween was probably when I was a kid, when I was 10 or 11. That's when I quit. A lot of good running back plays today. Yeah, this is definitely a slate where I'm going to have a lot of 3 running back lineups. So I'm going to have a lot of running back in the flex today, that's for sure. Today is the first day I will not second guess myself. And I wish you best of luck, my man. Wish you the best of luck. What's up, Derek? What's up, my man? What about Gage at 4,200? I think Russell Gage is playable now, but I'm not going too crazy on those secondary pieces from Atlanta. So Russell Gage, Zacchaeus, I'm not going to go really heavy on those guys. I'm going to focus on the guys that we know are going to get the opportunity. Kyle Pitts, Cordell Patterson, and even Matt Ryan I do like as a value quarterback. Favorite flex play, $17 on Yahoo. I mean, it's got to be Patterson. I think Patterson's $17. So if you don't have him already, I would say him. Any Gage boost with Ridley out? I think Gage gets a boost, but I'm not, running to roster him. I don't think he really bumps up that much. Let's see where Gage is coming in at. I mean, he's projected for 11% ownership. He's projected for 11 DK points, which I guess is solid at his price. I think Russell Gage will probably be, close to an every down receiver, but he's not a favorite value of mine. I will say though that the value on this week is not great. There's not a ton of cheap plays that really stand out. So if you want to play Russell Gage, I mean, it's fine. I just don't think I'm going to have much exposure personally. Allen Diggs, Sweeney, or Brady, Godwin, Gronk. Love them both, but the Saints defense is much tougher than Miami. I got to say Brady, Godwin, Gronk. And keep an eye on Gronk. they said he was expected to play, but now there's kind of reports that maybe he won't play. So if you do have any Gronk lineups, make sure before that game starts that he's actually going to be active. Because I wouldn't be surprised if they, rule him out. Best quarterback to stack. I mean, Jalen Hurts and Matt Ryan. So, like, Jalen Hurts if I'm paying up, I like. Matt Ryan if I'm going cheap. But, like, my highest owned quarterbacks in my 150 lineups are Jalen Hurts, Tom Brady, Stafford, Herbert, Josh Allen, Ryan, Darnold. That's kind of my quarterback pool. And then I have a few lineups with Trevor Lawrence. I have a few lineups with Ryan Tannehill. And I have a few lineups with Joe Burrow. But those main, like, 5-6 guys are where I'm really focusing in at quarterback today. What up, Noah? I'm going over on both Chase and Pitts receiving yards. Thoughts? I definitely like the Pitts over, assuming the line hasn't, adjusted for the Ridley news. Chase, I don't know what his projection is. I could look at it. Let me see. Chase is projected for, let's see here, 74.5. I mean, I don't mind that if you want to take the over. I just saw Cordell Patterson's 34.5 receiving yards on Prize Picks. I like that over a lot. Cordell Patterson over 34.5 receiving yards. Because, last time Ridley was out, Patterson got 9 targets. So, I definitely like that over. Cole Beasley or Judy at 4,900. Give me Jerry Judy. Assuming he's full go, which he should be. Darnold or Heineke. Give me Sam Darnold. Favorite 3.8K or lower tight end. It's probably Ricky Seals-Jones if he's 3.8K, yeah. So I would say Ricky Seals-Jones. I mean, he's still, an every down tight end. He's going to continue to be an every down tight end while, Logan Thomas is out. Hurts, Swift, J-Rob, DJ Moore, Pittman, Devontae Smith, Trimble, Godwin. Trimble, I'm not really on. Grant, what's Trimble's price? I assume he's like the stone minimum. 2,600. I would say if you can find some salary, try and get up to like Dan Arnold. If I'm going to really go that cheap at tight end, I think Dan Arnold's my favorite cheap play. 2,800. I mean, he's gotten 13 targets over the last 2 games. He's basically the number 1 tight end for the Jaguars right now. So he would probably be the value tight end I would play if I was going that cheap. Bucks or Steelers for defense? I mean, defense is just so random. I would probably say the Bucks. Just because, I'm a big Jameis fan, but Jameis, he'll turn the ball over. Is 22 prime, though? I guess it is if, your partying years. I mean, that's when most people, go out and party and stuff. Is when they're, low 20s, I would say. What about Cordell Patterson? Yeah, I like Patterson a lot. We've already talked about him. I think, without Calvin Ridley, he's already getting, increased opportunity every week. He played, over 70% of the snaps last week. Cordell Patterson did. And now they're going to use him, even more as a wide receiver without Ridley. They lined him up as a wide receiver a lot last time Ridley was out back in week 5. Mike Davis revenge game. It is a Mike Davis revenge game. Mike Davis has been terrible this year. He's definitely been a big disappointment, I would say. But I think without Ridley, there's going to be some more opportunity for him too, especially in the passing game. I have, Mike Davis is in my player pool. I don't have many lineups with him. I have 3% Mike Davis, so he's in 5 of my 150 lineups. So, I mean, I wanted to get a little bit of exposure, but yeah, I'm not running to roster Mike Davis. And if Mike Davis goes out there and puts up a big game today, well, so be it. I think Jerry Jeudy's in play on DraftKings. He's pretty cheap, 4,900. I assume he's good to go. It's been a while since he's played. He hasn't played since week 1, but I've seen no word of a snap count or pitch count or anything. And Jerry Jeudy's, 4,900. That's probably cheap for him. He's not going to be this price tag for the rest of the season. He looked great in week 1 before he got injured. So I think Jerry Jeudy's definitely in play. It's just he's a little bit riskier because he's, coming back from an injury. Tyler Boyd. I mean, Tyler Boyd's fine. He's kind of just been, not great this year. Really, Joe Burrow's been locking in on T. Higgins. He's been locking in on Jamar Chase. Boyd hasn't been getting as much volume as those guys. I think there's still a ceiling for Tyler Boyd, especially in a good matchup against the Jets. But I don't have much confidence in him. He's definitely, my 3rd favorite Bengals receiver. I would put Higgins and Chase, way ahead of him, I think. With Knox out, could Davis be a sneaky play? Yeah, I've heard talks about Gabe Davis. I don't have Gabe Davis in my player pool. Maybe they do more 3 or 4 wide receiver sets without Knox, but I guess if you want to play Gabe Davis, he's going to be super, super low owned, I would assume. Let me see, what's his ownership? I mean, there's not really any great cheap value at wide receiver. So, let's see. Gabriel Davis is projected for, yeah, he's projected for 0.5% ownership. I mean, he only projects for 5 DraftKings points, but, you know, projections aren't everything. So, if you want to play Gabe Davis for super low ownership, I mean, knock yourself out. But me personally, he's not in my player pool. Favorite punt defense on DraftKings is probably Washington against Denver. I mean, Denver's offense has not looked great lately. Teddy Bridgewater, he'll turn the ball over, he'll take sacks. I mean, Washington's defense has been definitely disappointing this season, but they still have a pretty good, you know, front seven, a pretty good defensive line, so they can get some pressure on the quarterback. I mean, defense is just random, man. You never know what defense is going to go off. That's why I tend to always pay down at defense. Just save salary and hope for the best, honestly. Cup is a must play for GPP. No, Cup is not a must play. Is Cup a great play? He's absolutely a great play, but he's not a must. I mean, the closest thing I would say to a must play today is like DeAndre Swift, and even then, he's not a must play because he's 7,100. Now, if DeAndre Swift was 4K or 5K today, he'd be a must play for me. But at 7,100, he projects great, but I still don't think he's like a must play or anything. There's never must plays in DFS. I mean, a player could project great. He could, it's like, oh, this is a great spot. He's got to do well here. And, he could get injured. Just things could go wrong. There's never any guarantees or must in fantasy. Brandon Cooks or CeeDee Lamb. If we knew Dak Prescott was active, I would definitely take CeeDee Lamb. But it doesn't look like Dak's going to play tonight. So that might make me side with Brandon Cooks, honestly. I mean, okay, yeah, they do play at 1 o'clock. I thought they played at 4, but they play at 1. So, yeah, I would just take Brandon Cooks, I guess. Mixon or Chubb? I like Nick Chubb. I would take Nick Chubb there. Nick Chubb's definitely a tournament play I like a lot today. He's going to be super low owned. Without Kareem Hunt, I mean, Nick Chubb is going to be a workhorse running back. He should be. Maybe they'll use him in the passing game more with Hunt out, too. The matchup's not great. He doesn't project well, but I'm definitely pretty high on Nick Chubb. I do have a lot of exposure to him. I'm definitely overweight the field in my tournament lineups on Nick Chubb. What's up, Noah on Yahoo? I have 2 questions. Would you play Chubb or Robinson, and would you rather have a 10-base stack or Charger stack? I would say Chubb over Robinson for me, and then I would be more likely to stack Tampa Bay than the Chargers. I mean, the Tampa Bay is one of my highest owned stacks on Yahoo. So let me see. In my tournament lineups, my highest 3-man stacks are the Rams, the Panthers, Tampa Bay, Eagles, and then my highest 2-player stacks, so just like quarterback receiver, Tampa Bay, Eagles, Rams. So I'm sure I have like a lot of Brady, Godwin, a lot of Brady, Evans, have a lot of Hurts, Devontae, Hurts, Goddard, and I have a lot of Kupp, Stafford, Woods, those stacks. Those are the main teams, and the Falcons too. I do like quite a bit too. I have a lot of exposure to the Falcons. Pitts, Patterson, Ryan, those 3. Smash the like button. Thanks, Noah. Hey, yeah, guys. What my man Richard said. Smash the like button, fellas. Smash the like button. We'll be live for probably 15 more minutes. We're going to go live up until lock, pretty much. Thoughts on this? Hurts, Henderson, Swift, Godwin, Higgins, Devontae Smith, RSJ, Cordell Patterson, Washington's defense. Hurts, Henderson, Swift, Godwin. I think that's a very solid lineup, Dylan. I like that a lot. Very solid lineup. Would you play Atkins? Jordan Atkins? Probably not. He didn't make my player pool. Like I said, if I'm going to punt tight end, I'm probably going to play like Darren Arnold if I really need to go that cheap. Deontay Johnson or A.J. Brown? Give me A.J. Brown. Without Julio, we should see A.J. Brown get a pretty heavy target share today. He's definitely one of my favorite receivers in the mid-range. Sutton or Pittman? Going with Sutton, so I have someone later slate, but what do you think? I would take Sutton as well. Washington's secondary has really struggled this year. I mean, their defensive line's still really good, but their secondary has been really bad. So it's definitely a good spot for Sutton and Jerry Jeudy as well. And both those guys, I think, will be low-owned on the slate. Maybe not Jeudy, but Sutton definitely will. Any Tajay Sharp? I don't think so. If I was going to go for a cheap Falcons receiver, it probably would be Russell Gage. I will say that last time Ridley was out in the London game, Russell Gage was also out then. So we don't have much of a sample this season of Ridley without Gage, because last time Ridley was out, Gage was out as well. But we've seen in the past, whenever like Ridley or Julio were to miss games, Gage would be the guy that benefited most. Gage and Godwin or Cole Beasley and Brandon Cooks? Give me Gage and Godwin. Tyler Johnson, best cheap pick? I mean, he's playable. Without Antonio Brown, Tyler Johnson's definitely playable. I would say if Gronk sits too, that would make me like Tyler Johnson a little bit more. I didn't have much exposure to him last week. He only got 2 targets. But if you really need a punt receiver, I mean, he's playable. But I'm not running to roster Tyler Johnson. Best wide receiver from 5K to 5,400. I would say, yeah, T. Higgins for me. Herbert or Mitchell? Give me Khalil Herbert, but that's a really close one, Michael. Van Jefferson or Russell Gage? That's another close one. I think Van Jefferson's definitely in play, and I do have some Van Jefferson exposure, especially in my Ram stacks. But straight up, I think I would take Russell Gage, but man, that's really close. Let me see where they're projected at. So Gage is projected for 11.5 DK points. Van Jefferson's projected for, let's see. Van Jefferson's projected for 10.8. So if you want to side with the projections, go Russell Gage, I guess. The dog in the back doesn't look excited for some football. Yeah, bro, he always sleeps in that same corner. He literally gets in the corner of the couch, and there's like a dent in the corner of the couch right there because that's where he sleeps. He's not excited for football, though, because he knows I'm going to be in here screaming and yelling at the TV. DeAndre Swift's going to fumble at the goal line. I'm going to scream at the TV, and he's going to be mad. Buck stacks or Ram stacks? I've got more exposure to the Bucks, but I mean, the Rams are one of my top stacks as well. I have 3-man stacks. I have the most exposure to the Rams. 2-man stacks. I have the most exposure to the Bucks. So, yeah. I mean, those are 2 of my highest owned stacks in my 150 lineups. What's up, brother? Would you stack Saints for a GPP? I kind of like a Jameis Winston, Marquez Callaway stack. Nobody's going to play Jameis Winston today. Nobody's going to play any other Saints players except Alvin Kamara. Like, Alvin Kamara is the only person on the Saints that's going to even get ownership. So I think playing some Jameis stacks does make some sense. I'm a Jameis fan, so he's in my player pool. I didn't get a ton of lineups with him, but you don't need to get a ton of lineups with Jameis to be overweight because nobody's going to play him. Would you risk waiting the status for Dak or play Sam Darnold? Oh, man, that's close, Matthew. I mean, obviously Dak is the way better option. I don't know, like, could you get Daniel Jones? Because, I mean, I think Daniel Jones and Sam Darnold, or not Daniel Jones, Daniel Jones, because they play Monday. Like, if you could get Daniel Jones and just wait, start Dak if Dak's active. If Dak doesn't start, then just start Daniel Jones. Or maybe Kirk Cousins if Kirk Cousins is available. But if not, just take Darnold. It doesn't seem like Dak's going to play. He's kind of trending more towards doubtful, it seems like. What about Jamison Crowder? I don't have much interest in Crowder, even with Corey Davis out. Like, I'm just not that high on the Jets. Like, I have some Bengal stacks, but a lot of my Bengal stacks have no Jets in them. The Jets are just, God, they're just such a bad team. It's kind of the same with the Texans. Like, I think you can stack the Rams today, and you don't have to play anyone on Houston. Obviously, you can play Brandon Cooks, but you don't have to. Whereas almost all my other stacks have run backs, but my Rams stacks and my Bengal stacks, I'm not forcing run backs in those. Stafford over 290 passing yards. I kind of worry about Houston not being able to keep it close enough to where Stafford has to keep his foot on the gas pedal. I mean, Stafford can throw for 290 yards any week, but I do worry about, like, if they get up big, they just run the ball a lot in the second half. And that maybe keeps Stafford from going over that number. But if Houston can keep the game close, yeah, Stafford can easily go over that. Emmanuel Sanders or CeeDee Lamb with Dak's status up in the air. Again, if we knew Dak was playing, I would take CeeDee, but it seems like Dak's not going to play, so I'd probably just go Sanders there. Do I start A.J. Brown or DJ Moore today, or start both and bench Chubb in season long? I would start A.J. Brown and Chubb, but, man, all 3 of those guys are good starts. Man, you got a really good team if you're having to bench one of those guys. You got a really good team. Any interest in Odell? Odell's in my player pool. I think he's in one lineup. In my 150 lineups, I'm pretty sure I have one lineup with Odell. Yeah, I have one lineup with Odell. Let me see what it is. I think it might just be him by himself. Okay, so it's a Najee Harris Odell mini stack. Like, that's the only lineup I have with Odell. I mean, Odell, God, he's been so bad this year. He's so cheap though, but I'm not confident in Odell at this point. Should I swap DJ Moore for Mike Evans so I can replace Trimble with Arnold? I think you can do that, Grant. Yeah, definitely. Because I think Evans and Moore are very close. And then between Trimble and Arnold, I do prefer Arnold by a good amount. Jerry Jeudy, Marvin Jones, or Waddle in season long. Thanks for the help. Get it today. Hey, appreciate it, Bill. Appreciate it, my man. You get it as well. You get it as well. I would say Jerry Jeudy there. What are your picks for breakfast? I didn't even eat breakfast this morning. I woke up and I wasn't that hungry. I don't eat breakfast that often. I'm one of those people that like never eats breakfast. Usually if I do eat breakfast, it's on the weekend. Like I'll eat with my girlfriend or something. But yeah, I don't eat breakfast that often. But my go-to breakfast, I'm a sweets guy. So like pancakes, waffles, French toast. And then you get a little bit of salty in there. So some bacon or, you know, some grits. That's my go-to breakfast. Darren Arnold or Tommy Sweeney for GPPs. Feel like Sweeney will be much lower owned. Sweeney will be much lower owned. I mean, Arnold is kind of like the chalk value tight end. He's projected for 18% ownership on DK. Tommy Sweeney is projected for 0.5. Tommy Sweeney projects for 5.5 DK points. Darren Arnold projects for 9. So, I mean, there's definitely a big gap in projection there, but there's also a big gap in ownership as well. So if you want to go Tommy Sweeney, I think in tournaments it's fine, but straight up, I prefer Dan Arnold. You like Gainwell on Yahoo? I definitely like Gainwell, but now that Cordell Patterson is a better play without Ridley, I do prefer Patterson. Patterson is the same price as Gainwell on Yahoo. So straight up, I would take Patterson, but I do have exposure to Gainwell. I'm a bit worried, though, like the Eagles, man, I think they're going to have like a 3-headed committee at running back today with Gainwell, Scott, and Jordan Howard like all getting touches. Brady, Herbert, Harris, Moore, Deontay Johnson, Godwin, Uzama, Agnew, Bills. Oh, man. Agnew, I would not be playing. Uzama, I know Uzama went off last week, but I wouldn't be chasing that either. Those two guys I definitely wouldn't be playing. I mean, Agnew, I don't know why you would want to play Agnew. Like, what has Agnew done this season? I mean, he got 6 targets last week. He's getting more targets these last few weeks. I want to see if his snaps have gone up. Damn, so Agnew went from playing basically like less than 15% of the snaps. In the last 2 weeks, he's played 63 and 59. I wonder why that is. I still wouldn't play Agnew, though. I mean, I thought Agnew was just like a return man. Sam Darnold or Jameis? I mean, Sam Darnold's projects better. But, like, if that's just season long, I would say Sam Darnold. But I definitely like Jameis as just a super, super contrarian play today. Tom Brady or Josh Allen? Those are 2 of my highest owned quarterbacks in my 150 lineups. I think I have 20% of both. I have 20% Brady. I have 10% Josh Allen. So, yeah, I guess I would take Brady there. But I think both those guys are good options, obviously. Damian Harris or Darrell Henderson? Give me Darrell Henderson. Love NFL games because they usually start on time. NBA games start like 20 minutes after the scheduled time. Yeah, it's so annoying. So annoying. So, like an NBA game that's supposed to start at 7 o'clock won't actually tip off till like 7:15. It's so stupid. I don't know why they don't just put the start time at 7:15 and start it on time. Wish I could play 4 running backs today. I don't know what 3 to go. I mean, yeah, there's a lot of good plays at running back. I would say my 3 favorites are probably, for the price, DeAndre Swift, Darrell Henderson, and they're going to be chalky, but I like both of them. I like Cordell Patterson a lot now. And if you're going a little bit cheaper, I think like Gainwell is a solid value. But yeah, the mid-range at running back today is loaded. Swift, Chubb, Henderson, Patterson. I like all those guys. Yeah, I knew DJ Chark was out. I didn't know that was why Agnew was getting so much playing time. I mean, Chark's been out like the last 4 weeks, hasn't he? 3 or 4 weeks? He got injured in week 4. Okay. So I guess you're right, yeah. I guess the absence of DJ Chark's allowed for more opportunity for Agnew. Week 5, he played 63. Yeah, I guess you're right. I still don't think I'd be playing Agnew, to be honest with you. Cup, Henderson, and Sutton, or Debo, Chubb, and A.J. Brown? Cup, Henderson, Sutton, or Debo, Chubb. Give me a Cup, Henderson, and Sutton. Emmanuel Sanders or Devontae Smith? Devontae Smith. Darren Arnold or Sweeney? I mean, I think Darren Arnold's the better play straight up. He's going to be way more popular. If you want to play Sweeney just for the super low ownership, fine. But straight up, I prefer Dan Arnold. All right, guys, we got about 5 minutes till lock. I think I'm going to just go ahead and wrap up the stream here. I appreciate you guys tuning in, man. I wish you the best of luck on this Week 8 slate. And, yeah, boys, we'll be back with, more content next week. We'll have a video up for the Monday night football slate. I think it's the Giants and the Chiefs playing tomorrow. So I'll have a video up for that. I'll have a video up for the NBA slate, too. We'll be streaming tomorrow for NBA and probably NFL as well. Not sure yet, but I'll try and do a stream for both. But, yeah, good luck today, guys. Appreciate you tuning in.